Ladies and gents, it is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Rafa Esparza, coming to you with another live installment of Running the Gauntlet, a spin-off of the Grappling Hour, where we have jiu-jitsu and pop culture intersect with some of our favorite guests. We'll get to our guests in a second here, but before we do, a couple quick reminders. One, thank you so much to everybody who tuned in this weekend for our extended ADCC trials coverage. I broadcasted for somewhere near in the realm of about 17 hours. So that's why we decided to move things to Tuesdays this week. Mondays, I was about ready to go. Don't know that my voice would have, but surprisingly, my voice actually stayed intact the entire weekend. So I was very pleased with that. But we had a lot of fun stuff to talk about from ADCC trials. We'll be doing that throughout the week, maybe even a little bit here because our guest was there. More on that in just a few seconds. I also want to say, if you guys like this, check this out. Look at this merch. Look at this, baby. Grappling Hour merch right there. If you guys want to get one of these shirts, you can go on over to rapesparza.com/merch or grapplinghour.com. Get you one of these. We also got hoodies, t-shirts, $25, hoodies, $45. A combination of the two is going to run you $60. So that's some savings if you guys want to save. In this economy, I hope so. Additionally, if you like what we do and you want to see our interviews 30 days before anybody else, all you have to do is go on over to patreon.com/Grappling Hour. We put our interviews there 30 days before anybody else. And for a few extra dollars, you can do things like see tape study segments that we're doing. In fact, we'll probably be doing a tape study on our guests, actually, if we're being quite honest. I don't think I've told him that. But yes, we are doing tape studies on all the athletes that are competing at ADCC. And our guest will be competing there later this fall. So what we're doing is we're looking at some of their best matches, and then we're going to tell you guys some of the things that they like to do or some of the things that we've noticed and the great stuff that they are all about. You can get that on our premium side. And there's one other segment that you can get into if you really like it. And it is a segment that everybody loves called Roast Raf, where people roast my competition footage. Now, see, I'm not like Elijah here. I'm not as good as this young man. But occasionally, I'll do something good. You don't see any of that footage. You see the really bad stuff. Like the good footage, we're just like, nah, I don't need people to tell me I'm great. What I need is our athletes to actually have fun, make fun of these things. Because listen, guys, competition's kind of silly if you really break it down. All right, last couple things. Join us on our Discord at Grappling Hour and like, comment, subscribe. We're also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, just in case you want to watch us in any of those different places. The podcasts are all up there. All right, let's get to our guest. This young man actually had a much easier trials experience this go round because he's already qualified. So because he's already qualified, he was there to go help out with this team. And I saw that for the very first time, he actually flew first class. So I'm actually very happy to ask him what that experience was like and bring him on for the very first time of the Running the Gauntlet side. Please welcome back to the show a friend, a very nice young man in one, Elijah Dorsey. Elijah, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Raf, how are you?
I'm well. Thank you so much for asking, man. So this was your first time in first class. What did you take away from the experience?
Man, I was telling Master Lloyd, my legs were like regularly sitting how they would sit in any other chair, and I was telling him like, don't you know like the saying, like the fish in a pond that just keep swimming in circles, and then you send them to an ocean and they still swimming in those circles. That's what I was. My legs were still closed, like I was sitting in a regular chair. I was like, I have so much leg room. It's so much different. And then it was just cool, all the little mechanics that were in there, like the little the tray, how the tray, you push a button and then it just goes up on the side and then you fold it over. I was like, this is amazing. And then they asked me as soon as I sat down, what did I want to drink? I'm like, I don't know, apple juice. And no, at first I said water. And then Master Lloyd looked at me like I was crazy. And then he was like, and I just said apple juice. So it was pretty great. And then I had some food. I had enchilada and it was so good.
Oh, wait. The enchilada was very good on an airplane?
It was very good for the airplane food.
Okay, just making sure, because, I mean, first class does have occasionally very good food. Just as a brown person, sometimes to me, I'm like, I'm so sorry. Did you say the enchilada on an airplane was actually very good? Because I think my abuelita would have spun over in her grave and been like, I'm sorry, mijo, we don't do that. But that's okay. That's okay. So it was a great experience for you. You went there. You were rooting on some teammates. What was the ADC experience like for you, sir?
Um, it was definitely a lot easier. like you said before, because I didn't compete this time. Um, but it was just great watching everyone else compete. Everyone put in like the super effort that they needed in order to win or to get as far as they could. Um, Watching my teammates fight to get into the big show. Unfortunately, they weren't able to this time, but I definitely believe that we'll get back to work, and then next time around they'll be able to accomplish that goal.
I think it gets lost in the sauce. And I mean, you're part of a team that has had a lot of success, but the degree of difficulty of pulling it off is, and again, I want to make sure there's no disrespect here. It is akin to getting a lottery ticket. Like, a lot of people get there and they're very talented, but to be very talented on one, killing it, it's a lot of things have to go right. So it's not luck, but it's a combination of skill and being the most skilled version of yourself on that day. And it is very difficult to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I definitely say that. Definitely things have to go the right way all the time, no matter what you're in. Like if you're in a Super Bowl, then certain plays happen at the right time, certain calls. The referee sees a little thing, and he might miss a little thing, but that could lead into like a play leading to 20 yards, or it could lead to a sack. So, um, yeah, one little thing could change the whole result of your of your goal or whatever. So I was just
So
fortunate enough to be able to accomplish that.
you were, and listen, man, I'm super stoked for you to get your opportunity to compete this August. But I have to ask, how hard is it for you to attend a tournament like that? And granted, you already qualified and keep all of that on the inside. Were there any moments during the weekend when you wanted to be out there and competing?
um. Yes, because the people that were out there, they're really good, and I've seen them a little bit, um, these past few years. Like I've been seeing them on Instagram and stuff like that, like tearing it up at other competitions. So definitely wanted to like either roll with them. Like I like to just train with like anybody and everybody. So like on Saturday I went to train with like some Pettigo guys. I trained with
Mm-hmm.
Couch and Spatch from Pettigo and Dante Leone. So and then a few other guys that were hosts at the gym that we trained at. So it was cool training with them. Like I just like to train with everybody, even if they're going to be in my division at ADCC, like Dante is. So, it's just bonding and connecting with people is just awesome.
That's pretty cool. I think you're a better person than I am because I know for sure if I was rolling with anybody else other than Dante, I'd be doing that thing where I'm like pretending to roll with them, but like keeping eyes on him. And be like, what's he doing over there? Oh, okay. So
That might have happened. That might have happened a little.
I like that you're like, Raph, I'm not going to admit that didn't happen. So there is that. I'm going to ask this, sir. You're looking at this board. There are 6 topics here. You know one of them, but you don't know 5 of them. Are there any of these
Right.
words that kind of give you a little bit of fear or that you're a little bit nervous about doing?
Worst.
Worst. Okay,
Worst and
so
scandal. They're right next to each other.
worst and scandal are, yeah, they are right next to each other, perhaps for a reason. But the thing is, I want to point this out. You hold part of the way this goes. So you are very much in charge of your destiny here. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to turn it over to you. We're going to attack this board right now, but I'd love for you to tell us where we'd like to go to begin running the gauntlet. So where would you like to start? Which buzzword would you like, sir?
I'll start off with the bad news first. I'm gonna go eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and I'm gonna go with worst.
Worst it is. All right. Young Elijah Dorsey, worst. You have famously said that you are a huge football fan. Tell me the worst fan base in football and the reasons they deserve this distinction.
Cowboys, because they think they're going to the Super Bowl every single year, but they never do. They haven't been to the Super Bowl since like '95, but I don't know what it is. It just they're every time I see their logo and their fans, I just give them a stink look and I talk trash. So they're gonna hear my mouth all the time.
What is the worst
No matter no
experience
matter
you?
how no matter how no matter how bad my team is. My team is the Commanders or the Redskins, whatever you want to call them. Washington. My team is Washington, and I don't care how bad my team is. I still hate Cowboys fans. As like that's the worst fan base in the NFL.
You know, I have to tell you this, and I'm going to go and return us back to the mainframe here. I'm not mad at you. but you definitely took mine. And okay, so it's gonna take me a second here, but let's have a moment for this. What is the worst experience that you've ever had with a Cowboys fan?
Probably. Hmm. Probably this past year when we, or was it this year when we lost like 50 or 40 something to like 10 or something like that. That's
Yes.
probably the Cowboys fans here. They just talking, talking, talking. So I just had to show my mouth that time. Just say, wait till next time. No, 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 no. Actually, one of the trainers at my strength and conditioning, he talks so much, so much. And every time he sees me, he says, "Commander suck."
You know what it is? I have discovered over the years. So I grew up as a 49ers fan as a kid, and you're embedded. You're almost born into hating the Dallas Cowboys when you're a
Yeah.
49ers fan. But I found this level of delusion amongst them that is so impressive because every year they start off with "we dem boys" and you go, well, not dem year. Like, this ain't dem year for you. You may be dem
Right.
boys, but wins that year. So I have done my best to try and keep them as a separate entity because I go, they're insane. I don't understand them and get them. All right. Well, you're making me go with my alternate here. So here's what I'm gonna do. Camera back on me for this one. And in terms of this, now that I'm up against the clock, yes, the young man did steal my answer, and I'm not mad at him because guess what? He's not wrong. But in trying to build another answer, I'll give you one, and I'll give you the one I didn't want to give you. Here's why. I'm afraid I might get stabbed because when you say the Raiders, it should be inherent that they are a flawed team. Not to them, not to just win, baby fans, not to, God, you can't speak bad about Al. I just want to tell you guys this. It's some of the worst fan bases, and yet now they actually have a pretty baller stadium that I'm waiting for in years. That thing to just basically melt in the hot Vegas sun. But I will tell you this, they are not pleasant to be around, but there are far too many brown people in them. So that's why I wasn't sure this was going to be my number one. But my man took my number one, so I had to go with number two. Please don't stab
Oh
me,
man.
Raiders fans. And if you do, remember I'm brown too. And I will have a knife on me. So there is that. So yes, I had a feeling this one might be the one you would enjoy because when we were going back and forth, you're like, I love football. And I was like, oh, I've got the football question for you. That's not the issue. I just didn't know which of these teams you had it out for the most.
Yeah, yeah, definitely Cowboys. I hate them with a passion.
Can I ask this?
We
Because
we could go 2-15 in a season as long as those two wins are the Cowboys. I'm good. I'm good.
I'm glad that you have that mentality because I will tell you this, my favorite part of every season, oh, I could have said this. You know what? In years past, I probably would have said the Patriots because I really did hate the Patriots for a long time. But now that their dynasty's kind of dead, I have to live
Yeah.
with the ghost of very annoying Boston fans, but not the reality of them being able to win anymore. So I feel like that time has passed for me. But there was a time where I was just telling people, I'm like, my favorite time of the year is when the Cowboys lose in the playoffs or when they don't make the playoffs, more specifically in other
Yeah.
years. So once
Yeah.
that happens, I feel like the earth kind of rebalances and nature is healed. But yeah,
Mhm.
you can't tell that to certain fans. All right, young man, we did our first topic. I think you did well. I think you understood the game. So that was one that was
Cool.
catered to you. Now I'd like to
Yeah.
know from here on out, it's not that they're hard, but maybe the answer won't come as easy right off the top of the head. So just know that going forward. Having said that, take me to your second pick here, sir.
I'm gonna go with power.
Power it is. Your prompt: you attended ADCC trials this weekend. Name one person who did not podium and who is not on your team that impressed you at trials this weekend.
Um, shoot. Who did not podium? Who did not podium? Uh, oh gosh. Dang, I'm really on the spot. I'm gonna go with Who competed? Who competed? Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! I can't think.
Talk it
Uh,
out. What was the match? Describe what you're thinking.
I'm trying to think of somebody. I'm trying to think of the name. Think of names. Let's go with Dorian.
Dory, okay, Dory's the shit. I love Dory. Dory's the
Yeah,
homie. Okay, okay.
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
give some respect.
He had a very entertaining match with Tackett, and I'm very impressed that he was able to make the weight because literally he won Nogi Worlds at medium heavy. I would say medium heavy or heavy. So to see him make that weight and then like get all the way to that round and have a fight like that against Tackett, it was pretty impressive.
Okay. Okay. I see right now as we're kind of coming back to this, the stress, the look of fear that struck in your face when you were like, who am I thinking of? Who am I trying to remember? I mean, that's the difficulty of the game. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
do want to say that. But Dory, I thought, you know, you never know how this is going to pan out. And you're right, he did make the weight. He's very fun to watch. And Dory actually took out one of my other homies out here in Los Angeles. And this is what I hate is that sometimes I see my homies go up against each other who I know both live in
yeah.
LA. And I go, we could have just done this in the backyard of somebody's house. Like it's somebody's gym, literally Central Valley. They both went to Vegas to have this match.
hmm
And one of the guys who I was doing on the Fight Companion with, he was like, yo, uh, Diego hasn't gone yet. I go, no, Diego's going up against Dory. And he goes, that's not Diego. And I go, its name is Diego Sanchez. And he goes, no, but that's not Diego. And I go, look at the thing. It says it's him. So a little bit later, I had to show him, and he's like, oh my God. I go, I know. I go, I think it's that Dory's throwing you off, that he was in a different weight class. But he had a
hmm
fun series of matches. I mean, he looked very solid. So I want to give him his props.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
All right.
I even came up to him after the match and was like, "That was a good match."
That's awesome, man. See, you had one. You just had to take the moment to go, wait, who was it?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah, yeah.
no. Okay. All right. I'm gonna do mine right now. So let's go ahead and go back. That is power, and that is back on me. There are a lot of people who impressed me over at trials. So I'm gonna say a few names, otherwise people are just probably gonna get mad at me. First and foremost, shout out to pre-projectile vomit John Combs. John Combs looked really good up until then. So good that he took out one of my other homies, Bobby Winter, in the middle of their match. And that was a really fun one to watch. When you have all these friends going up against each other, it is very difficult to watch on that side. Neither of them podiumed, but I also want to give acknowledgments to some of these other folks out there that I kind of had eyes on. That I was like, it is very, very difficult to win these trials and tournaments. But maybe tell me if I'm wrong here, but I don't remember if Diyoshi Goto, did he end up podium?
Say who's that again?
Goto. Diyoshi Goto?
What division is that?
Oh, man. I think he's in the 99. So I'm out of time, but I'm going to come back over this way so we can open it up to discussion. I thought Diyoshi
99.
actually, he did well. There were a couple people who were right on the brink. Oh, Jordan Holy, actually. Jordan, I don't think he ended up getting third place. I think it was the Corbet brothers and Keith that all podiumed. But Jordan had a really,
Mhm.
really solid run. J-Rod did actually podium, so I can't do that one. But there were some
Right.
folks that, like, even when they don't podium, I was like, damn, they had a really good run up until they did. So I wanted to give some shout outs there. Were there any other people that, now that you've had a second to think about it, that just kind of uh, came to mind that you said, "Oh, that's actually very good," or "I really like them"?
Um. Oh dang, he did. Did he? Did he?
Oh,
Oh,
you know
he
what?
did.
We can also open it up to people who podiumed, because at this point we can give some props. I just, for the main prompt, I didn't want you to think of the same people, because
Mhm.
it's very easy to just be like, "Oh, Andy Varela," "Oh,
Right. Right.
the Corbet brothers," or stuff like that, where I go, no, 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 I want to hear from the people who maybe went a little under the radar. Oh, I know who I would have said, but go ahead.
Okay, so you actually took mine. I was thinking of John Combs at first, but then I was thinking about the throw up situation, but then shoot, Godo, is he the one that had the hair, that has the hair?
Yes.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, I just couldn't see his name on the board, but I heard some. I just remember hearing somebody say his name, so it came back to my mind. Yeah, he definitely had a very impressive run. Um, I was also thinking of um what's his name? Brandon Reed at 99 plus.
Yo, that's a
Um,
great pull. Brandon,
yeah.
man, Brandon was right there too, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had a super impressive run. I was watching him. What was 88? 88 was Taggett, J Rod, Elder. It was another B team guy. I remember that. Was it Woj?
Chris
Chris?
Wojcik, that was the guy I was going to give another shout out to. And
Yeah, yeah, him
the
too.
the reason why I wanted to give Chris his shout out was because he wore the merch. So Chris actually showed up in the Grappling Hour hoodie, and I was like, I'm not saying we're partial here, but I mean, my man did show up in the Grappling Hour merch, and I'm saying this while also recognizing there was a certain person or persons that the Flow Grappling coverage team went to go celebrate like they were part of the team. So I say that whenever I try to have some sort of objectivity, I forget, oh, wait, if the guys who are putting on the event and covering the event go like literally go, yo, we boys. I'm like, we can throw
Yeah,
all those
yeah,
rules out the window. Okay, great. So there is that. But yes, shout out those folks. They had some impressive runs. Overall, though, what was the experience like just being there for you? Like taking it all in. Like, did it feel like we really are approaching now ADCC trials? Like, do you feel more excited having gone to that for your upcoming ADCC run this August?
yes, and I would like put that in exclamation and capitalization because after watching the finals from the outside, just like seeing the crowd and seeing the hypeness of the finals matches, like from the outside, I was like, oh dang, yeah, this is gonna be crazy. This is gonna be lit. So
That's
just
what's
and then just the ADCC atmosphere is different than anything else, really, because like the matches are more barbaric. Like in Andy Varela's match, he was clubbing. I'll say it on here that he was clubbing very hard. Maybe it's some people would say it was a slap, probably me. But he did get like push kicked in the chest that could have triggered him, but he definitely was boom and boom on the guy. Um, yeah, he was super exciting to watch. But is somebody at the door? I don't know. Uh,
you're good. You're good.
but
Can I? Oh,
yeah,
go ahead.
just seeing the atmosphere was crazy. It made me really excited for it.
I want to bring this up with Andy Varela specifically. I had a friend who had a match with him, and I went up to go give him some advice. And I go, in jiu-jitsu, we say don't call these things fights. A match with
Mhm.
Andy Varela is a fight, so prepare
Oh
yourself
yeah.
accordingly. And he goes,
Oh yeah,
oh,
for
okay.
sure.
So yeah, no, you bring up some very good points, and more importantly, like, listen, man, everybody wants to punch their ticket. It can be right up
Mhm.
to the edge, but it's more the athletes. I'm sorry, the referees' job to police that if that's the case. Like if they ever go outside of that realm, that's when the referee needs to step in because
Right.
in theory, everybody's just trying to club and dig, and maybe he's got a little extra in that club and dig than most other people, and it might seem incredibly violent. I just know that the thing
Yeah.
that made me laugh in that match in particular was that dude who, after getting slammed, just did this,
Like
like the
didn't
hand
protect
up.
himself at all.
It not even
Well,
didn't protect
yeah, oh,
himself at
you
all.
mean after that, right?
After that, he's like on the
Yeah,
ground,
yeah.
he's lying down like this, and then just extended his hand up. So I thought that was a fairly funny moment. So when he did that, I just go like, "Hey man, I don't know, man. Somebody slaps you kind of hard. You gotta get some respect on the board." And I'm saying this knowing like, yo, it's a losing battle going up against Varela at that point. But At the very
Yeah.
least, maybe get some back, but easier said than done. All right, where are we going next, sir?
Let's go back to the bad news and with scandal.
Oof. Okay, here we go. Your prompt for scandal, sir, is things went from bad to worse for Diddy this week. Name one celebrity that you think will have the next scandal, and for bonus points, what that scandal might be.
Oh wow. Um, I don't really be caught up in the scandals like that, so I really don't even know what. Like I've heard like and seen memes about what Diddy did,
Mm.
but just to say somebody, hmm, somebody that'll be in a
Like, name a
scandal.
celebrity you don't like. Start from there.
A celebrity that I don't like. I don't. I'm probably hating a little bit, but just because I don't like her music, Sexy Red.
Oh.
Um,
Okay.
I don't. Maybe stealing somebody's man. I don't know. I don't know. Like getting a fight, getting a chick fight with somebody because he stole somebody's man or is
To be
cheating on somebody.
honest, 100% honest right now, when you said her, I think you gave one of the most realistic versions of a scandal there. Where you, as you said it, I was like, that's actually a very possible scenario that could happen there. Like, that's something you could see on a TMZ or something like that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
Man, my favorite thing about this is, let me just give you the details here. Diddy accused of sex trafficking, amongst other things. And it does seem like a few months ago, Cassie was putting some of these allegations on him, and more things started coming through. So, with any allegation, you kind of have to take it at base and say, like, okay, let's see what information comes out of it. A lot of people were
right.
dismissing Cassie, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, they're raiding P. Diddy's house, and he's flying all the way on over to the Cayman Islands or something. And you go,
I did hear that. I did hear that. He just like got on a plane and disappeared or something.
you're just thinking to yourself, like, bro, where are you going to these non-extradite places? So I have
Right.
to say this though before I move on to mine. There are two people when I was a young kid about your age that, for
Mhm.
reasons I could not explain at the time, even though they were very popular to some of my friends, I did not like. One of them was Diddy. One of them was Kid Rock. I feel very good about my choices. I feel like my unnatural hate for them has only proven to be correct. And when they were going after Diddy, they were like, yo, we got him. We're going for him. He's done all this stuff. I go, I'm sure
Hey,
maybe
you
he
you
probably
sensed it.
did.
You sensed it from the beginning.
I'm just saying, I just feel good that he's not somebody that I like said, oh man, that's my guy. Like, even when
Yeah,
people
yeah,
were
yeah.
like, don't you like the Notorious B.I.G.? I go, I like him. I don't like that other guy. I don't like
Yeah.
take that in the background. And they're like, don't you like Bad Boy Records? I was like, doesn't mean that they don't have good music. I just don't like him. I don't
Right.
know. Can't explain it. So there is that. All right, let me go to mine, and let me see if I can give you somebody and kind of show you who might have the next scandal and get to this. Which, by the way, I don't know why you're so zoomed in on that. All right, there we go. I fixed that one. Let's go back to me. All right, celebrities, scandals, dime a dozen. It's very interesting to figure out who's going to be the next one that we're going to call up. But, more and more, it seems like every single day, every celebrity has a scandal, which just goes to
hmm
tell me that maybe before their next big fight, Jake Paul is going to come down with another scandal. Now, I can't tell you what it is because I think his brother already got hit with a crypto scandal. But I feel for Jake
Dang.
Paul, he already got accused of taking essentially like estrogen or something. I don't even know. I just know that some of my homies were telling me, they're like,
What?
yo, he had like the reverse of steroids or something to that extent. And I thought, you know what, these are
Oh
wild
no.
things. I'm just gonna put him as marked down as my guy, who I think is probably next in line for getting the scandal. So that's who I've got.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know
Not
how to
even
explain that one.
that's crazy.
I have to, you know what it is that I don't care so much about him that when people were explaining it to me, I go, I don't need to know anymore. Nope. I don't want to know. Don't care. I bet you he did. And conversely, the scandal that made me laugh the most is that they recently accused Bruno Mars of having to perform at the MGM because he has a $50 million debt. And I go, I don't even know that that's true, but I'm going to pretend
I
like it
heard
is
about
because it's
that.
so funny.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Like, I don't, I feel like not fact checking that one is perfect to me because it's just a great story to say, like, hey, Bruno, get out there. You sing 24 karat
Yeah,
magic right now again for these people. And you go, oh, God. So, all right. You're almost through. You're halfway through the board, sir. I'm going to ask you,
all
where
right,
are we
all
going
right.
next?
Let's go with fast.
Fast it is. Sir, as an athlete who is constantly traveling and having to eat food on the go, especially fast food, I ask you to
Yeah,
settle this debate for us. Wendy's or McDonald's?
Wendy's. Wendy's all the way. McDonald's food. Only their breakfast is good, in my opinion. Their breakfast and their fries. But their fries, they have 17 ingredients in them. So it's not just potatoes. Wendy's, quality over quantity, quality over 17 ingredients. Um, their Wendy's got breakfast now. They're starting to get improve their breakfast and stuff like that. Their burgers are way better than McDonald's. Their fries are, I think, are closer to McDonald's and burgers than McDonald's burgers are to Wendy's burgers. So, and then their nuggets are way better than McDonald's. McDonald's nuggets are iconic, but that doesn't mean that they're good. I ate a quarter pounder from McDonald's last year, and only the bacon was good.
Okay. Okay. Let's see how we're going here. Okay. You know, I'm not going to allow for much post discussion here because I feel like I should just jump straight into this one myself. So I'm going to go ahead and put that time and go straight to the clock. Young man doesn't know what he's speaking about here, okay? He's putting McDonald's slander on this show, and I just won't stand for it. You know why? When you're growing up, what do you want? Yo, mom, take me to McDonald's, because nobody says take me to Wendy's when you're a child. Number two, where's the Happy Meal toys? I don't know anything about their toys. They don't got anything for kids. In fact, when they come up and they tell you, yo, we got these McFrosties, and I go, great. Can I get it for $1? I've been told it's $1. No, you got to have a keychain, and then you got to have like this thing on a keychain, and then you can get $1 stuff. No, give me the $1 thing. Speaking of $1 menus, did you know that McDonald's was the one to pioneer $1 for us? That's came through in college time. This kid has forgotten all about where it came from. And yeah, he did mention that the McNuggets over at Wendy's might be a little bit better, but you know what? You feel like you earned your fatness when you eat at McDonald's. And that's why I rep the clown day and night. Boom. So, young man, let me ask this.
Oh my God.
You pitched this topic, okay? So you came in ready to defend one of them, and I didn't know which way I was going to have to go on this, but I'm willing to ride or die for McDonald's at this point. What prompted you to send this topic? I make it so that you can literally pitch any topic to me, but why this topic and why of so importance to you?
I was thinking about the most recent debates that I was having. I haven't debated with somebody in so long. But when I did debate, it was about McDonald's versus Wendy's. Quentin, BJJ Quentin on Instagram, he won Pro Belt Euros in January, and yeah, he loved McDonald's more than Wendy's, and I'm a Wendy's guy over McDonald's. McDonald's breakfast is amazing.
This is where I feel your whole argument falls apart. Your whole moniker is Big Breakfast. So I feel like it should hold a little more weight. Like, I feel like that should be a bigger part of the pie. You can't just sit there and be like, yo, their breakfast is better. Your whole name is Big Breakfast. That should be the biggest portion of the pie.
But if I'm going to breakfast, then I'm not going to McDonald's over something else. Like, I'm going to Cracker Barrel over that. So
Sure, but I guess I should ask this. What does Wendy's even have for breakfast? I don't even know.
I I went there. I went there last year also when they like started their breakfast and stuff like that. They had like some nice potato wedges and they had like a biscuit I think or croissant. It was decent. It wasn't bad.
What is all this extra? Who gives you a croissant? McDonald's knows what you want.
Croissant
It's
sandwich. A croissant
pancake. Oh,
sandwich.
a croissant sandwich. Okay, great. So they're
Yeah.
Burger King now. All good. Very, very good to know. I'm just telling you this. It sounds like breakfast is an afterthought, and that's why I can't get behind that. At least with McDonald's, yeah, you're mad when you don't get there in time for breakfast. You're mad when it's 10:30. You're mad when you go, wait, I'm sorry, ma'am. I would like my breakfast. And they say, it's now 11. And you go, but I want my breakfast. And they go, I'm so
Yeah.
sorry, sir. They don't tell you that at Wendy's. You know what they tell you? You get there, they're like, we still got some like hash browns, I guess. So take these, I guess, whatever. We don't even know. Do you want like we don't even have hash browns. We just have some weird ass potatoes that's just not going to be made into a fry. So I'm glad that that's the relativeness of, because I wonder this about your team. When I see you guys together, I've seen people get very angry when they are yelling at each other. And you have shown previews of heated debates, heated video games, and I want to say heated bowling games, but I've seen your scores. It doesn't look that heated. So,
hold up.
Wait, am I speaking out of turn here? What's happening?
What are your scores?
Oh, bro, I'm in the 140 region, so you're not touching me for a minute. I think I'm good.
I had 140 the other day.
You have 140. Wait, you touched 140 once is the way that you are positioning this right now.
But look at my hand. Look at my hand, you know?
Bro, what are you talking about? Your hand looks like it's in a bowling glove as it is right now. If anything, that should be checked for steroids. Like, because right now I'm looking at that. That's a performance-enhancing glove right there, sir.
Oh, man. I need the extra support.
I will tell you this. The one thing that we did say off air is I was like, well, we're 100% after we roll. Because I don't think the roll is going to go good for me. But I do feel like I'll redeem myself in the bowling. So we may need to have a tiebreaker situation here. And it has to be something that neither you or I are good at. Because I don't feel like we should just have something that's a little bit more aligned to me or a little bit more aligned to you. We need to find something that we both aren't great at and say, like, that's the tie-breaking sort of situation.
I was gonna say like a eating contest, but obviously
no. You are too young. This is, you know what people don't do when they get old? They don't have eating contests because
unless your name is Guy Fieri.
Well, God bless him, but even as it is, I am the world's slowest eater. So we could be in the middle of an eating competition, and if it was based on volume, I got that. It's just going to take a whole weekend of me sitting there and not leaving the table, which I'm not opposed to doing, but I will tell you, we'll have to strain our brains a little bit more. But I did like that after I saw that last score, I was like, oh, we didn't even crack 100, fam.
I didn't? No. That I did care. I did.
So you did by the end of it, because I saw a 90. Was it the last frame that you were going into that I have?
Yeah. Right.
Hold on. You know what? Let me double check this, because occasionally,
I hope I'm right.
I don't do this all the time, but every once in a while to like prove a point, I may actually grab a screenshot just because I like to know exactly what the score is.
It might be 99.
Oh, wait. Don't tell me that. You can't tell me that now. I like that you were like, no, Raph, I cracked 100. And meanwhile, I'm like, wait, let me go see if I have a screenshot. You're like, actually, now that I think about it, it was 99. Yeah, I was right in there, Raph. Don't worry about me. Because I'm thinking to myself, I was like, I'm pretty sure I saw what I saw. And I don't think I have the screenshot of that one. If I do find it later, I will let you know. But I should have I should always follow my instinct and just screenshot it no matter what. All right, sir, we have 2 topics left. Where would you like to go next?
Let's go with Big.
Big it is. Your nickname is Big Breakfast. I challenge you to list 5 different foods to build the ultimate breakfast experience.
Let's go with an omelet. Like as many meat, omelet, bacon, sausage, chicken, anything you think of. Omelet. Pancakes. Hash browns on the side. Oh, I was gonna say eggs, but that's already an omelet. Some nice sourdough toast because I love sourdough. That's 4, and then orange juice.
Orange juice. Oh, you know what? This is the best part of this game. Is you have a minute to do your thing, But you had that so under control. You're like, no, I know what it is. It's 40 seconds. I only need 40 seconds. And I'm going to go ahead and give. Because I was like, each one of those items, if I said for 5, that should give you 10 seconds per item. You were like, no, I've got this.
Yeah.
See, look, timer's going off now. That's how ahead of the game you were on that one. So
Oh
let me
yeah,
go
I'm
down the
already at
line.
that.
You were saying pancakes, omelet,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're doing orange juice,
Hash
right?
browns.
Hash
Yep,
browns.
orange juice, hash browns, and then sourdough toast
So,
with strawberry jelly
oh, okay. Well, we're gonna have words on that part, but only
or
because
grape or grape.
okay, that's fine. The reason why I'll tell you in a second, it will make more sense. But I have to say, this is a very well put together. Yeah, you did make one mistake, and I'll go into that in mine.
Oh no.
Yeah. Because I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, I'm like, you know what, this is good. This is solid. We can make this work. But okay.
I have a feeling I know what it is.
Oh, you think you know what it is now? Okay, great.
I think I do. I think I do.
All right, now I'm gonna tell people right now before I go here. This is not good to eat all in one sitting, but it is the ultimate experience. So I'm not telling you that you eat all of this all at once. I'm just telling you these are the basic food groups that you should be going after if that is the case. So now I'm going to go on over to Big, and we switch this camera back on over to me. All right. So the young man was very good. His list, top notch. Let me see if I can bring this down just a little bit for you. First of all, the error that he makes is that he said pancakes and not waffles. Because with waffles, you have the ability to put it in little fours. It's perfectly cut into fours. You go that Belgian waffle, you are not going to feel bad because you need that space. You don't need that fluff, that unnecessary pancake just filler that you have. In doing so, you got a lot of stuff to eat. He went omelet. I'm going chorizo burrito. You get that chorizo burrito? You can do it with bacon if you're not, inclined a certain way, but you get that with a little bit of salsa, you're going to be great. Then we go, if you're thinking about it, maybe these don't go together, but you got to go just bacon on the side, okay? You get the bacon on the side, and especially if you don't get the bacon burrito, and you're also going to go with coffee and McDonald's pancakes, because what's wrong with you, young man? What's wrong with you? You're repping the McDonald's, the double arches forever. Just saying.
Oh my gosh. I'm not mad at the pancake. I'm not mad at the hot cakes.
Yes,
I'm not
thank
mad at the
you.
hot cakes at all.
Thank you.
Yeah. Not
I'm
mad
glad
at
that you went back to the brandy because that only reinforces the brandy for McDonald's. You don't know what Wendys has for their breakfast. For Wendys, you don't know. They don't call those like potato wedges. Nobody does that. They're going to be like breakfast potato. So I'm just saying that. You went coffee, or you went orange juice, so I had to go coffee on that one. I just felt that was a little bit different. It's just the waffles versus pancakes debate is heavy, and I feel like a big source of contention here because the other part of me thinks I wanted to do a bagel. I just don't know that it goes with all those foods. If you do a bagel, you go bagel and lox. It could be very, very good. Even just bagel and cream cheese on a rare occasion, very, very good. But the problem is, now I'm at a space where I'm like, yo, that shit's just too filling. Like, especially if I'm training, I'm like, I can't have that in me. So I've since retired from doing some of that. But see, I had to make sure because we called you Big Breakfast, so we need to justify your name, and I think you did. I think that I think you did show that you're a good second place in getting a good breakfast here.
I don't do the coffee, so I probably want to switch to coffee with the tea if I'm going to go with a hot drink.
Okay.
I like tea more.
What kind of tea though? What kind of tea are you doing?
If it's a morning, I'm gonna go with green tea.
Okay.
Towards the night, go with chamomile.
Good man. Listen, we're treating the youth very, very well here. Like, this is a very smart young man. While doing the broadcast over this weekend, I could feel my voice after day one just being a little strained, and I had to go to what we call honey and hot tea, and that's the way that this instrument goes. Because after day one, if it starts feeling a little like warped, I go, shit, I'm gonna be talking for another 12 hours. I better have this voice going, otherwise nothing is happening here. So there is that. Well, sir, we only have one left here, and
all right,
I think this bodes well to your competitive nature. So why not just full steam ahead. Let's pull it up. This one is super. And your prompt is as follows. Gable Steveson recently said that he was up for having jiu-jitsu matches with Nicky Rod or Gordon Ryan. With more and more people outside the sport looking for potential matches, name one MMA athlete who you would like to challenge to a super fight.
Charles Oliveira.
Oh, you didn't hesitate
Yeah.
at all, and you want that. Why do you want that match with Charles Oliveira?
I know he has a really good jiu-jitsu background, and he's a beast. So that would be awesome to have a fight with him or train with him, either or. So, and we were just talking about it earlier, literally in practice. So that just like what the first thing that came to mind. And then I saw on Instagram, um, I saw his like it was like a ESPN post talking about his weight cut and his team being around him, and that was like uh just recency bias, I guess.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay. I see that. I actually, I thought you answered that well, and you had that definitely in the top of mind. So you were thinking it. Have you guys come up with MMA athletes? Because my thing is this: I don't see MMA athletes and think, oh, I want to have a match with them. I always think like I'll train with the guests. I have no issue with that. But that there are going to be people above my power level. For you, a young competitive upstart who is very good, those are always opportunities to get seen by more people. And you versus Charles Oliveira would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, you asked did I come up with MMA? Yeah, we have some MMA or we have actually Sadiq Yusuf. He's fighting on the UFC 300 card, so I might be back in Vegas next week.
Look at this dude. No sleep for this guy. This guy is at work constantly. All right, let me give you my response, and then we will be done with the board. But my response on this one, I am going to adjust a thing because I'm not a fighter, so it doesn't really make sense for me. I'm going to just slightly bend the interpretation here, and I hope that you guys are kind of on the same page with me. All right, here we go to super, and let's turn the camera back on me. So let's put it this way. There aren't a lot of people who do hosting like I do. Like there are people who are athletes who now have podcasts. It's kind of all the rage. But there are very few people who are other hosts. And I have famously said the person that I want to have a super fight with is one Ben Fowlkes. He is one of the best reporters. I've looked up to him the most. I know he's a brown belt, but the problem is he doesn't train anymore as much. He has what he calls pile of trash neck. And that really bums me out because I was like, yo, I think that would be fun. I have no interest in calling anybody out. But if you're thinking about a celebrity, somebody who would be in that mile, if you would, somebody who's also in that purple belt region that I'm in. There's a pro wrestler by the name of Kyle O'Reilly, and I think the world of him. He's very funny. I know he trains out in Florida. I say that respectfully because I think it would be fun. Also, I don't know anybody who makes me laugh more. That's kind of what I want. I don't want like a shit talking one. I want one where we're making fun of ourselves and then just happen to have a match against each other. So those are the folks that I'm looking at. But yeah, the Ben Fowlkes one, he did say this, which made me laugh. He just goes, I was like, we brought him on the show. I go, hey man, I always wanted to have a match against you just because I respect you and I like you. And he goes, well, it's not out of the question, man. I was like, don't leave that door open. I will 100% take that. I was like, but the reason why I had to put it to him is I was like, I can't emphasize this enough, how not interested in having super fights I am with practically everybody else.
Oh yeah, that would be a fun one. Yeah, I know. You would definitely have fun with that.
Yeah. And I like to think of it like this. You're calling out Charles Oliveira. We'll be on the pre-card for you, bud. Like, we're YouTube. You guys can be main event. That's perfectly fine. But we'll see in the future. So let's do this, sir. I gave you the opportunity to pitch one. We made it all the way through the board. As we start to close out, I always like to ask the guest, especially after you've had the time to play the game, if there is a topic you would like to get me to respond to or a prompt that you would like to do, because I've had the ability to trip you up on some of these things. And with your deep Wendys versus McDonald's sort of little bomb that you had set in here, I know there's stuff that you could potentially throw at me in the same way that I tried to trip you up on a couple of these. So I put the question to you, sir. Do you have a topic that you would like to get me to have a hot take on or a response to?
This is a pretty generic one. We can go with gi versus no gi.
Okay. What do you want to know?
Oh shoot.
Okay, so
um
you just want my take, which is better.
yeah.
Okay.
What do you prefer? What's your take? What's like more exciting? All the above.
All right, I'm gonna offend everybody all at once. Okay, great. I think gi is the chess, no gi is the sport. Here's why. I think that there is a better art to the aspect of gi jiu-jitsu. I think it's cool to be able to control people. I think it's much an easier way of controlling larger opponents to have that extra cloth, to be able to break them down. I think it's never ending in your application of coming up with new things because there's something to work off of. Having said that, which do I train more? Definitely no gi. And here's why. No gi just more fun, y'all. Like, I don't know how to tell you this. Gi, you feel like you have to show up with it. It's extra laundry. It's annoying and all this other stuff. I get it. And in fact, I'm even looking at my gi. Like, look, as you can tell, it's not even being used. Look what's here. This should be in like a bag somewhere. It's in my office instead of being used. It is drying right now, so there is that. But I want to point this out. I have love for both. I don't understand people who only train one. In fact, I think that's the take. I think if you only train one,
Yeah.
you are harming yourselves, and I can't get behind that. Because a lot of our no-gi guys, when I tell them train in the gi, they're like, I'll never do it. And I go, that's stupid.
hmm
And I come from an area where people would mostly just train gi. And I'd be like, who wants to roll no gi? And people would say no. And I go, I think you guys are limiting your overall potential as to what you can do in this sport. So,
Yeah.
yes, the only thing I will say about this is you will notice some of the biggest people in our sport will talk shit about the gi. I think they do it for their own benefit. Because if you look at it, it behooves them to say, hey, I like this no gi action a little bit better because I have more opportunities this way. When in
Right.
actuality, you look at some of these beasts who are on the gi like podiums, and
hmm
it's not by accident. A lot of them replicate their success. So I have a lot of appreciation for people like you who do both.
Appreciate that. Thank you. I
You're welcome.
have another one though.
Go for it.
I have another one. I just had to bring it back to my head. Um, shoot. Uh, I literally had it in my head.
It's okay. Describe what you were thinking, and then we can go from there.
Okay. I was thinking about. Was I thinking about jujitsu? You know what? I probably am gonna get off of here and then remember it, and then I'm gonna be very mad at myself.
It's okay.
So
So, did it have anything to do with gi, no gi? Was it outside of the sport? Was it the presentation of the sport? Was it a pet
I know
peeve?
what it
Oh,
was.
go for it.
Who? Okay. So the topic is guests.
Yes.
Who is your favorite guest on your podcast?
Oh, it'd be you, obviously.
Are you
Because
just saying that because I'm on here
because
right
you're
now?
on here right now. Of course, yes, absolutely.
Okay,
Um,
if I wasn't on here, I'm not gonna get offended.
no, of course. I'll answer that for real. Um, I like a mix. So part of the thing I like about the show is we do guests that you know and guests you need to know.
Mhm.
So I feel like we have a long history of being most people's first podcast or first show. And obviously I can say people like Gary. Gary, I think, is one of our longest standing first guests that we kind of hit it off and we were good.
Mhm.
So we never have a bad experience. I would say on the need to know side, dude, our top 10 this year I thought was phenomenal. You were part of our top 10, and that was with good reason. Your enthusiasm was great. You said it was your first time really doing a show like this, and it made me
Yeah.
just realize like I could see the potential for you doing better things even in the future. But like the people that we named on our top 10, Bobby Winter was our number one. Just really
Mhm.
overall enthusiastic, super nice, really good, excellent. And I love the fact that you guys were speaking so nicely of each other in both of your interviews, which goes to show the type of people that we are putting in our top 10. Like, it's not just that they say controversial dumb shit, it's that they have something of worth to share. So I would tell you those were a couple. Mo Black was really good last year. Paul Ardea was really
Mhm.
good last year. Um, there was a dude by the name of Dylan Budka. He's fighting in the UFC, I think, this week. And
Really?
yeah, it legitimately, it surprised me because it's one of the interviews I didn't set up. Somebody had actually
Hmm.
reached out to us, and when that happens, there's a possibility, because normally if I send the note to you, it's me being like, I watched what you have done and I respect it and I want to talk about it. But if somebody else sets it
Right.
up for it, you don't have that same element. It's just, well, let's see. Maybe this is going to be
Hmm.
good. Maybe it won't be good. So there. I just saw Alex Enriquez show up. She was part of our top 10 for a reason. Like, just phenomenal interview. Alex, what I love about her, she just tells you exactly what she's feeling. So I think those, like, the reason we put that top 10 list out, it is that. But then every once in a while, I have days where I just like laugh with a guest. And a dude named Ian Butler made me laugh pretty much because we were just talking about, he has a lot of wrestling students, and we were comparing notes about how all of our students roast each other to the point where you might be the old head in the room, like the OG, but you're not going to stop them because you go, oh, it's pretty funny. Shit. Yeah, no, he's got you, man. He got your number. And you think it builds some stuff. And also, a
Yeah.
good friend here put handsome Kevin Sherrill. Kevin was funny. He was very funny. And what I'm doing now with this show as well is, this is usually a topical show. Our interviews tend to be topical win shows. So it's like when you won trials, I reached out to you because it's topical. You
Mhm.
just won. Kevin didn't necessarily win something, but what I like about running the gauntlet is it's going to expand my ability to bring on people. Like, I have a couple people in mind who maybe didn't podium or who didn't win, but who impressed me at ADCC trials that I have my eyes on. So I'm going to be like, come do the show, because this
Yeah.
variation, it's a little fun, and I think we get to do nonsense with it. So that's it. Does that kind of answer your
Yeah,
question?
for sure. Yep. Yep. Very good.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, sir. So here's what I'm going to do. We got to get you ready for your clients that are coming in, I think, pretty soon. But I'm going to put the camera on you. Feel free to shout out anybody you'd like to, sir. This is all on you on this camera right now.
All right. As you can see here, over here, um, BJJ Training Pros is a new up and coming online coaching software where um, me and other very decorated champions in jiu-jitsu all are offering online services to review your film and help you out with like pretty much online private lessons, then seminars, and I'm working on my new brand that I'm coming up with. It's going to be called Big Stacks. Little double play on words, pancakes, stack of pancakes, and stack passing, which I love to do, and gi, both gi and no gi. So it just fits in. And working on that, and it'll be gis, no gi gear, and clothing. So just be prepared for that. And I just can't wait till ADCC and IBJJF Worlds. So other than that, just I mean, my coaches, my teammates, my parents, my family, all of them, they already know what's up. So, and you for having me on here.
Thank you, sir. It's very nice of you. I want to say, don't forget this one too. You can put stacks on stacks on stacks. I mean, listen, it's endless
Exactly.
on that, bro. Like, it's not just like stacks on pancakes, stacks on passing. Like, you know what I mean?
All right.
Like, this is a multi-tiered pun that you got going on. But
Indeed, it's a big stack of tiers that you can go with.
that's right. That's right, young man. All right, man. I'm going to say bye to you off air in a second, but I'm going to close this up. I just want to say this. What I like about you is this. You are challenging yourself in a new way, because this topic board, it's not easy, right?
Yeah, yeah, not at all.
But I think you had some great moments here today. You pulled out some stuff that I wasn't sure it was going to be, and now I know all I have to do is get you to talk trash about other teams in sports that aren't ours, and I think you're going to be all set. Next time I'm going to come with maybe some NBA or MLB questions and be like,
Oh
"Yo,
yeah.
who do you hate in basketball?" And let's see what answers we get there. But
All right, cool.
I have to tell you this, man. Thank you so much for coming on. I was so happy to see you do up big things. And I definitely wanted you to redeem yourself because you did run away from training with me. Anyway, I think we've run out of time and I can't hear you anymore. So I'm just going to do this. I'll say bye to you off air, buddy.
All right. Thank you.
All right, you guys, that is going to about do it for us. A couple quick reminders before we get you on out of here. Thank you so much for watching. This is the Grappling Hour. It's our little spinoff called Running the Gauntlet. We just had our good friend Elijah, and it was fun. We do these every Mondays usually, but for this next month, it's going to be on Tuesdays. Also, tomorrow, we're back here with our good friends from the PGF preview team. That's myself, Jake Watson, and Tim Freeman. We're going to have a lot to talk about with ADCC, I'm sure, and the implications it's going to have for PGF World Season 6. Additionally, we've got interviews coming up all month long, tons of free content. It's a very busy month. We are doing a WrestleMania preview show, or not a preview show, but a fight companion on Saturday and Sunday, live from Mama. The following week, I'm producing Subversive. That's going to be a blast. And then I'll be in Vegas for the PGF World to do your pre and post shows that entire week in Vegas. So the grind don't stop here. Go to patreon.com/grappling hour. Support us there. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. It does mean the world to us. Additionally, you can also go on over, get some of this merch at rafasparza.com/merch. And last but not least, go ahead and follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and chat with us on our Discord at Grappling Hour on all of those places. Ladies and gents, that's going to do it for us here at Running the Gauntlet. Thank you so much for having fun with us. It's been a great day for grappling. We'll see you back on the mats.